Hello friends! Alright, today we're going to talk caffeine. Hopefully you've been on my website and you have downloaded the Wired and Tired Rescue Guide, and in that guide I talk about some different remedies to help with feeling wired and tired. And one of them is reducing or eliminating caffeine. Ideally eliminating it to see if this is part of the issue going on for you. Don't stop the video yet. I promise it's going to be okay. I know it's really hard. I used to love caffeine. I was totally a caffeine junkie. When you're feeling wired and tired, it's one of the first things you want. You want to wake up, and caffeine feels like it can do that. But in the long run, it can really deplete you. And even throughout the day, it can play into some ups and downs. And oftentimes we don't really realize that's happening until we start reducing it and seeing how our energy is flowing through the day. So let me give you some tools in order to do that. First things first, if you are a coffee drinker and you love your coffee, let's keep at least that taste in your life in the morning and start to swap it out for a good quality organic decaf coffee. I do love the smell of coffee, and my husband is a coffee drinker, and so every once in a while I pull this out. That is acid-free Tyler's decaffeinated coffee. It's organic, and I'll take that out and make a little French press of that and maybe save it for a few days and have a little bit if I'm really wanting it. And what you can do is take that decaf and mix that with your caffeinated. And when you first start out, maybe do 75% caffeinated, 25% decaf, and you can drink that day. The next day go 50-50. You can go a little slower than that if you want, but slowly start to add more decaf grinds and more caffeinated to whatever you're using to brew it, and eventually get yourself onto decaf. And then it would be great if you can start to wind that back if you are drinking coffee throughout the day, just because it can be dehydrating, and replace other more important things like water to kind of wind that back to where you're doing maybe a cup or two a day. Start with that if you want to keep the coffee in. If you feel like you could replace the coffee with something different, one option that I have found, even though I'm pretty sensitive to caffeine, that if I don't do really more than 1 cup a day, but in the morning, this is a organic white peony tea. It's much lower in caffeine than a cup of coffee, and I don't let it sit too long. I just brew it, just leave it in for maybe 2-3 minutes. So that is a pretty gentle, a lower caffeine amount in that cup of tea. I also keep different herbal teas around that I like, and I do really like that sort of roasty taste of coffee. I love black tea, so I will get sometimes like Celestial Seasonings makes a roast aroma tea. There's dandelion tea that can give you that feel. So there are some caffeine-free options. I think Ticino is another one that makes some different options that might be a nice coffee replacement. And dandelion can be really great. It's nice for liver support, some other things as well. So if you do like that one, that would be a great option. So pick out a couple things to try and then just take it slowly, because as I'm sure many of you know, caffeine is very addictive and you can feel kind of awful if you just cut it out all at once. So if you're a big caffeine junkie like I used to be, go easy and go slowly, and then make sure you're drinking a lot of water, give yourself some hydration, and just see how you do with it. So take these ideas, get started, and then send me your questions if you have any, or your comments. Share with each other on the blog, and let me know how it's going. Thank you. Have a lovely day.